It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on this Thursday, the 8th day of August, 2024, brought to you by MSC Cruises and Will U.S., the owner of Scootaround. Quite a few things to cover this morning, folks. One, it's very wet here. Started about 7 o'clock this morning. We'll get to that in a minute. My apologies to all of you guys for not getting a show on the air yesterday. It ended up being a rather longer than expected, rougher than expected day. I didn't get home until almost 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And by then, there was no way I was going to get a show put together. So it just didn't happen. The first part of the day, the oncology part, that went on fine. No bad news there, with the exception they had a horrible time with the blood draw and ended up having to get stuck 3 times before they finally got to me. And yes, hot air time, I drink lots of water, and that just still doesn't work with my veins. So then after I had a bit of a break, time enough actually to go get a bite of lunch. And then I went to cardiology, and I was there for hours. A good bit of that was waiting. But the cardiologist, this was my first visit there. So they had to do all the background stuff. I had to have a fresh EKG done. Actually, I like the cardiologist. It was just as soon as he walked in the door, I liked him. But one of the things I was surprised to find out, this aortic aneurysm that I've never heard of, I've had for several years. And why nobody ever told me about that, I have no idea. But again, it's not that much to worry about. They just have to watch it. So that part of the thing was good. However, the EKG yesterday had a blip where it was supposed to have a blop, or I don't know. You don't understand the squigglies. But there were dips too many times for something. And he says, this may be the cause of the heart weakening. And I said, well, the heart weakening? I thought the breathing weakened. Well, he says, both. I go, oy vey. And he says, quite frankly, I don't see a reason that that's happening. So we're going to have to do some further testing. I go, hey, wonderful. More testing. Just what I want. So the first thing they're doing is they've got me on a heart monitor, which means I can't get in the pool. Not that I can for the next couple of days anyway. But I have to cover up put plastic over it, even to take a shower, because you can't get the crap wet. And of course, because they want to look at some different blood stuff than the oncology people look at, they had to draw some more blood again, which is, I don't know, let's see if you can see this. See that? That was the 4th stick yesterday. And look at the bruise I got. So that's going to happen. And then it can't be done until I get back at the end of September, because they wanted me to go on like September 8th for an MRI. I said, no. The month of September, I'm gone. Totally. You're not going to screw up my calendar. We can fit things in when I'm home. That's the only way I'm going for this crap. I said, okay. So the first week I get back, I got to go for an MRI. Now, I hate MRIs. I'm claustrophobic as hell. And this is not, unfortunately, this isn't one of the fat man's tubes. This is the one where the thing's right up to your nose. And I'm way too big for that. So they really bother me. So they're going to have to give me some joy juice to get in that tube. But that, of course, is up to them. Now, the bottom line from all this silliness, folks, and I don't know if it's mental, if it's physical, or if it's weather related, but I am struggling to breathe. To let you guys all know that, I debated this morning even taking my oxygen off, which, I hate to go live with oxygen. But there may be days some shows, folks, if you pop on, you see me with oxygen, you'll know why. It's because I'm really struggling to breathe. So thankfully, I can feel when the O2 level is dropping. I can feel it in my chest. And believe me, folks, if I get to that point, I'll grab the oxygen. I'm not going to be that vain. So that's where we stand from yesterday. All right, so on with the business of today. We do have a number of stories this morning. Brad Pitt and MSC is the lead story today. I'll get to that in a minute. Of course, we got a Thursday weather update, including an update for the Chillie Falls. Princess adds a new Wi-Fi tier. Carnival Sunshine delayed this morning. Margaritaville Islander itinerary change. NCL perks expanded to include Canadian military. $100 million refit. And pandas at the San Diego Zoo. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Sneak Some Zucchini on Your Neighbor's Porch Day. Now, that's a very apropos specialty day for me. Once upon a time, I lived in Pittsburgh. And I was married to this horrible Italian woman who was a wonderful cook. And it ended there. But anyway, one winter, we're you get snowed in Pittsburgh for weeks at a time. And it was one of those periods where we were snowed in. And she says, I'd like you to plant me some zucchini this year. And I said, oh, what the hell is zucchini? She says, well, there's these vegetables that I can use in cooking. I said, okay. So I get out my Burpees catalog and I thumbed through it till I found zucchini, and I ordered a couple packages of zucchini seeds. So it got time to plant the garden. And I set aside a pretty good sized plot for zucchini. And I took the 2 packages of seeds out there in the garden and I planted them. I didn't know about zucchini and how prolific zucchini are. I had 60 zucchini plants, and they all grew, and they all produced. When we got into the harvesting season, I was getting 80 to 100 zucchinis per day. So about a week into this, the neighbors all went out and bought guns that they'd have on the front porch if they saw me coming with a bag of zucchini. Get out of here! That's what they tell me. So this is particularly pertinent to me. National Sneak Some Zucchini on Your Neighbor's Porch Day. I love it. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big guys, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, any of them. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. If you are listening to a podcast and want to jump over to the video feed to take a look at interviews or clips or pictures, there's always a link in the description of the podcast, so you can do just that. All right, before we get to the actual news for today, we do have some breaking news coming out of Palma, Mallorca. A ship has Elijah Craig on it. Guess what that ship is? That's on from the Scarlet Lady. I won't say where I got those pictures from. But that's Elijah Craig, folks. That's another ship that I got to go on. I got to drink them out of their Elijah Craig. So they buy some more, hopefully, from my buddy. Okay. So this was actually yesterday in Mallorca. And Elizabeth says, yeah, there's all kinds of construction going on. It really kind of is awful. So she went to an Indian restaurant. And because she'd walked to the Indian restaurant, she had whatever that is. I can't. Yeah, it's in one of those weird languages. Anyway, I'm sure that's some kind of a beer, I would think. She ordered some food. And when they served the food, she was really upset because it was bland. And she likes things spicy. So she did get a San Miguel. She sent the food back to get it spiced up, and it came back almost as bland as it was. So she said, I ate a little bit of it and left and went to another place and ordered takeout to take back on the ship. Then today she's back in Ibiza. So these are a couple of pictures that she took from Ibiza. She did, Elizabeth did call this morning, folks, from Ibiza, because she was a little worried about me from yesterday and just wanted to see how I was doing. So I appreciated that. Hopefully she'll have some news soon on her career, as it were. All right. So I'll be back with the news after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. All right, guys, so we're going to start the news today in the Atlantic with some weather. Debbie's center creeping inland over South Carolina. Major flood threat continues for portions of the Carolinas and Virginia. The center is currently located about 30 miles north-northeast of Charleston, about 60 miles southwest of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Maximum sustained winds are around 50 miles an hour currently. It did get up to 60 before it had its second landfall. Presently, it's moving to the northwest at 5 miles per hour. That's actually sped up a little, as it was moving as slowly as 3 miles an hour. The minimum pressure is 994 and rising slightly. The current cone of unpossibility has the storm moving right through the farm here in Forest. It started raining here about 7 o'clock this morning and has been raining pretty steadily ever since. Debbie's expected to accelerate toward the north-northwest and north across eastern South Carolina and central North Carolina through tonight. Debbie is then expected to move faster, thank goodness, toward the northeast across the U.S. Mid-Atlantic and Northeast on Friday and Atlantic Canada on Saturday. Now, the latest messages from the National Weather Service, or National Hurricane Service, heavy rainfall, of course, portions of the Carolina is expected to persist through today along with areas of considerable flooding. Heavy rainfall will result in considerable flooding impacts across portions of the mid-Atlantic states and Northeast through Saturday morning. Tropical storm conditions will continue to affect portions of South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia today. Coastal flooding due to the storm surge is likely along portions of the South Carolina and North Carolina coastlines. Weakening is forecast during the next day or so, and Debbie is likely to become a tropical depression by this afternoon or evening. Debbie should then merge with a front and become extratropical on Friday. Rain, of course, began here earlier. We're expecting 5 to 8 inches here at the farm in Forest. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, Amelia is expected to become a remnant low by tomorrow. Currently, it's located about 780 miles west of the southern tip of Baja California. Maximum sustained winds at 40 miles an hour. Present movement to the west-northwest at 21 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure is 1,002 and rising. Gradual weakening is forecast, and Amelia is likely to become a remnant low by Friday afternoon or evening. Then the X down closest to the land, a tropical wave moving over Central America, is expected to emerge over the far eastern portions of the West Pacific Ocean later today. Environmental conditions appear generally favorable for gradual development of the system while it moves west-northwest at 15 to 20 miles an hour, parallel to the coast of southwestern Mexico. Chance of formation in the next 48 hours, 10%. The next 7 days jumps up to 30%. So that's something we got to watch. MSC Cruises will be getting its moment as a star on the big screen as it becomes a part of Hollywood legend, appearing alongside Brad Pitt in F1, an upcoming Formula One racing movie from Apple Original Films. The new Warner Brothers movie stars Pitt as a Formula One driver who returns to the sport. As Formula One's official cruise partner, MSC Cruises, branding will be prominently displayed in the movie, appearing on the fictional APX GP car and team kit, as well as on the racetracks included in the film's storyline. Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer and directed by Joseph Kosinski, F1 was shot during the actual Grand Prix weekends across Europe in 2024, integrating real racing environments into the storyline as iconic tracks such as Silverstone in the UK, Monza in Italy, and Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. F1 will be released to theaters on June 27th, 2025 in North America, and globally starting June 25th, 2025. The cast also includes notable actors Carrie Condon, Javier Bardem, and others. MSC Cruises became Formula One's official cruise partner in March of 2022. Announced at the Bahrain Grand Prix that year, MSC and Formula One began working together to develop special initiatives that blend Formula One's high-end experiences with MSC Cruises, fleet offerings, and other things that include unique opportunities for fans and guests to enjoy the best of both worlds. I went through channels this morning and got at least information sent to Brad Pitt's publicist, inviting him to come on the show one day. Wouldn't that be a trip? Today's feature cruise is part of a flash sale that's good until August 9th. It's a 5-day, 4-night Bahamas cruise starting at $199. Goes from Port Canaveral, Florida, has an overnight at Ocean Key and a stop in Nassau on the MSC Seashore. Sails on September the 8th, 5 days and 4 nights. Rates are part of the flash sale, but they do include all taxes and port charges based on 2 adults per cabin. The interior Bella prices $398 per cabin. That's $199 per person. Ocean views $560 per cabin. That's $280 per person. Balcony is $700 per cabin or $350 per person. If you're solos start at $329 or $569 with the drinks package. Just give me a call, 434-258-9264, and we'll get you hooked up on the Seashore, September the 8th. There are other dates available as well. Princess Cruises is adding a new, faster than ever Wi-Fi tier that will launch on August 31st. The cruise line's new Medallion Net Max will offer an even faster internet connection than the current one. It will offer the highest quality and highest performance bandwidth available anywhere in the world, which is typically Starlink. Medallion Max will only be available to guests who purchase Princess Plus or Princess Premier packages. These packages make Princess Cruises more all-inclusive, including perks like drinks packages, Wi-Fi, and specialty dining. Pricing for Medallion Net Classic will remain at $24.99 per day for a single device or $44.99 per day for multiple devices. Princess Cruises is the only cruise line that has adopted every source of bandwidth spanning the globally deployed fleet, including Starlink, which is LEO, MEO, and GEO satellite constellations, and 5G terrestrial. Although it's not real clear, folks, I assume, like if you get Princess Plus, that costs you $60 a day. Then you got to add on for this new thing, so that would run it up to $84.99 a day. It's not real clear in the release. Worth asking about. Margaritaville Islander, the newest ship for the boutique Margaritaville at Sea cruise line, has had to change its itinerary due to delays caused by Tropical Storm Debbie. Because the ship had to remain at sea for an extra day while Port Tampa Bay was closed, the next sailing has been shortened to a 4-night itinerary, and one port of call has been canceled. The new adjusted itinerary will visit Key West, but will not visit Cozumel. Carnival Sunshine is homeported from Charleston and will be unable to return on schedule, but instead is being delayed by 7 hours. Instead of docking at approximately 6 a.m. this morning, the ship is expected to return early in the afternoon hours. This means that embarkation for the next sailing must be subsequently delayed. The cruise line reached out to book guests with an update about the revised plans late yesterday afternoon. This means that a guest who chose 12 to 12:30 arrival appointment when they checked in for the cruise should now plan to arrive at 7 to 7:30. All guests must be on board the ship no later than 9:30 p.m. this evening for the vessel's departure. Norwegian Cruise Line has expanded its fleet-wide military appreciation program to members of the Canadian Military Services, including active troops and veterans in the Canadian Army, Royal Canadian Navy, Royal Canadian Air Force, and the Canadian Coast Guard. Previously, the program was offered to active members and veterans of U.S. forces. The inclusion of Canadian soldiers and veterans is effective starting August the 6th and features a standard 10% cruise fare discount plus an array of onboard amenities and services. Royal Caribbean's second Oasis-class ship, Allure of the Seas, is set to return in April 2025 after undergoing a significant $100 million dry dock refit and refurbishment. As part of Royal Caribbean's Royal Amplified Fleet Renovation Program, which started in 2018, Allure of the Seas will feature 35 dining and drinking options, resort-style pools, new suites, and various upgraded amenities, building on the success of the revamped sister ship, Oasis of the Seas. Key highlights of Allure of the Seas planned upgrades include enhanced pool deck. The reimagined Caribbean pool deck will feature resort-style pools, a variety of seating options, including in-pool loungers and day beds, and an adult-only solarium with new dining and bar options. Water attractions. Guests can enjoy the multi-storied water slide trio, the Perfect Storm, and the kid-friendly Splashaway Bay, complete with slides, water cannons, and drench buckets. New dining and bar experiences. The ship will introduce Pesky Parrot, a tiki bar specializing in fruit-based cocktails, and the Mason Jar Southern Restaurant and Bar, offering Southern comfort food and live country music. Ultimate Abyss and more. The ship will feature the 10-story Ultimate Abyss slide, a glow-in-the-dark laser tag arena, and the latest Royal Escape Room experiences, Apollo 18, Lunar Landing. Adventure Ocean and Teen Spaces will be upgraded spaces for children and teens, including a redesigned Adventure Ocean and the transformed Social 298 teen area with video games, music, and movies. And the Ultimate Panoramic Suites, new suites with 200-degree ocean views, will be added above the ship's bridge. Governor Gavin Newsom has declared today to be California Panda Day, a playful but also politically significant nod to Thursday's public debut of two giant pandas, Yin Chuan and Xing Bao, at the San Diego Zoo. These two pandas, in a gesture of goodwill from China, are the first to be sent to the United States in more than 2 decades.
Don't let your mobility challenges affect your upcoming Hawaii cruise. Honolulu is a city steeped in history and natural beauty. Whether you're relaxing on the beach at Waikiki or exploring the city's Royal Pass, a scooter or wheelchair rental can help you stay comfortable and mobile. All Honolulu mobility rentals are 10% off until September 30th, 2024. Call Scootaround toll-free 888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use code Honolulu10 or SRN 11137 for the best rates.
Okay, I think I probably was trying to say something and did not have the audio turned back on, but I wanted to double check it before I actually said something. That was about the pandas and the Yung Chuan was actually born at San Diego, went back to China, and has now come back to San Diego. That was just another little interesting little tidbit about the pandas. So I tell you what, folks, let's sail to San Diego and go see the pandas. You know, you can take a nice ship from Fort Lauderdale through the Panama Canal and end up in San Diego and go in and see the pandas. That sounds like a wonderful idea. Call me. We'll take care of that. All right, let's go see who's in the chat room fussing at me today. Steve's with us. Good morning, Steve. There's Hot Air Tom. There's Mike from on the other side of the pond. Gary Older Than Dirt's with me. Hello, Gary. Hot Air says, haircut looks good. Thank you. I've just gotten ridiculous. So, and yeah, the this part over here, I told him, you know, get the damn curl out of that. It immediately starts curling back up again. Bob's with us. Morning, Bob. Hey, Roger. Test drive event at Tesla dealership. Drove Tesla Cybertruck. Wow, that's pretty cool. Good morning, everyone. Gretchen's here out in Ohio. There's Cindy. Good morning, Cindy. Andrea Bergman is with us. Good morning, Andrea. Amy's here. Howdy, Amy. Amy made some suggestions about me, since I have so much trouble with them taking blood, that it can be done from a port. Well, I was so glad to get that port out of me from after the chemo that I wasn't wholeheartedly sure I'd ever want to put one back in. But man, I tell you what, it's getting ridiculous on drawing blood from me. So maybe I've got to do that. Gretchen says, put your oxygen on. I had it on during a major part of the show. I just hate doing it when I'm off. I really do. And if I feel I need to have it, don't worry, I'll do it. When does the heart monitor come off? I take it off Wednesday morning, just before I leave to go to the airport. So it's supposed to be on for 2 weeks. I told them I can't do 2 weeks. They wanted to get at least some readings. So I take it off, put it in a box, and I'll get somebody here to mail it. And then I'll take off for Richmond. Yeah, next Wednesday. Roger says, Munhall Heights. That's where the damn garden was. Yep. Munhall Heights, up above the Braddock Bridge, up above Rankin. Yeah, my house actually overlooked the Monongahela River, which was really nice. I mean, I wasn't close enough to feel like I was on the river. I mean, I was a mile above it, but that was pretty cool. It was a great place. It was a great garden, but man, the zucchinis were awful. I am thinking zucchini funnel cakes. Yeah, no, I ate zucchini every day for 2 years in some form or fashion. I don't ever want to see a zucchini again. And that was way before the funnel cake business. Gretchen says, I have a delivery. Excuse me. Okay, Gretchen, go to the door. Bob says, that was something on the news this morning about flooding in Juneau. I meant to show you pictures from that. I had some pictures and I got sidetracked this morning. I got sidetracked by Brad Pitt and didn't get the pictures loaded. So what happened is a glacier dam broke. And that's a natural phenomenon. And it sent just a wall of water through Juneau. Let me see if I can, maybe I can load some up real quickly here. Let me at least attempt it. But it sent this wall of water, and I mean, it was some massive flooding in Juneau, but it didn't last long. I mean, a friend of Nate's house had 4 feet of water in it, but it came and it went. So it's back to normal now, other than a lot of of course, the damage to the houses. That's going to take a while. So if anybody is in Juneau and you're having trouble on excursions and things like that, you'll know why. I mean, this is Juneau, of course, this is from the air. But as you can see, I mean, there's a lot of houses there underwater. But it just the water came rushing down from the glacier. Nate lives out near the glacier, but he was above it. That's not one of these. This is the one of Nate's friend's house that has 4 feet of water in it. But it struck and then was gone. So, I mean, the flooding itself is gone now, but you still got to clean up in the mess. So if you're going to Juneau in the short term, just if they're not up to snuff, you understand why. All right, let's see who else is in the chat room over there. I don't know how far I got here. Todd says, great zucchini story. Gretchen's back from answering the door. That's good. Hot Air says, we had Beryl, then Debbie. What was the C? That was Chris. Lasted about 15 minutes, I think. Yeah, it wasn't a big hitter. But Chris was the C. And there was a Chris. Todd says, how many zucchinis go into bread loaf? You grind it up, Hot Air, and it depends on how many loaves you want to make. Lorraine made like 50 at a time. We had to buy a second freezer just for zucchini crap. Plus all that I could give away. And you put a big table out in your front yard and put them on it and say, take them. Yeah, no, they never do. I never had an issue with Princess Internet before. I thought it was great. I never had a problem with Princess Internet either on the princess ships I've been on. So, and unfortunately, this new system isn't going to be on until I'm off of Grand Princess. Grand Princess is what Gretchen and Fred and Gary and I are going to be on next week. Gretchen says, Tom, C was Chris. See, there she remembers. You just don't pay attention to me, Tom. You're talking too much. Or else you're ducking from your better half throwing pots and pans at you. I can see that now. I can see Cindy going after him with a damn pot. Damn it, Tom. I'd love it. Joanne says hi. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Katie. Katie's back at work, unfortunately. Better be Tuesday. We are boarding Wednesday on the boat. No. We sail on the 14th. We sail on Wednesday, 7th, 14th, 13th. Okay, Tuesday. Yeah, you're right, Gary. Damn, I got to leave that quick. I was thinking it was Wednesday. I just got a message from Nate. We've got 3 people in Juneau on excursions if they call in. Not sure if they're able to get to them or not. All with, they're on a charter boat. Okay, so maybe they were able to get to that. Kenneth says, hey, Chillie, just to let you know, they do have MRI machines that are open just for that reason. I thought so too. But the guy yesterday said, no, this particular one has to be closed. You know, the tight one. We'll see. Gary older than Durst. I guess we better keep an eye on Chillie to make sure he meets his flight and trains on time. Yeah, that's always a good thing. I mean, I've got it in my calendar, guys. You know, admittedly, I sometimes don't do things until at the last minute. But yeah, it's on my calendar. So Wednesday, so they're not going to get a week. So we set it. Today's the 8th. Today's Thursday, the 15th. Yeah, we'll be on the boat. The 14th. Okay, so we may not have shows Tuesday or Wednesday next week, guys. At regular times. I mean, I'll try to do shows both days. But I mean, like Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be up in the air on how I get my shows done. It's who knows? We'll see. Yeah, but I'm sure you're right, Gary. You look at calendars more than I do. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. As always, smash that thumbs up button. Oh, we got a nice crowd here today. We're about to hit 100 from X. We got 83 in the house right now from X. Keep on coming, folks. Show from on deck during sail away will be perfect on Wednesday. Yeah, if I can. It depends on being able to set up, and I don't know. We'll see. It'll depend on the weather too. And you know, again, I'm going to be flying all night because I'm not getting in now until after midnight. So, and that's without any difficulties. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Kenneth says, next year I would like to do my first Alaska cruise. Well, we can certainly hook you right up on that, Kenneth. We can. So you tell me when you want to go, and maybe I'll try to schedule around it and go with you. So anyway, all right, guys, that's going to do me for today. Smash that thumbs up button if you haven't subscribed. Please consider doing so. I'd love to have 10,000 subscribers by the time I get on Grand Princess next week. That's a lofty goal, but who knows? I'll certainly try to do it. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll be back same time tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Maybe I'll make up a show for yesterday over the weekend. Maybe I'll do 2 shows over the weekend and make for one of them that I'm not going to do during the week. Who knows? Never know what kind of schedule I'll have. All right, that's going to do it for me for the day. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. See you same time, same channel tomorrow. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.